Welcome to Appalachian Living on the Farm. I'm Tracy Fletcher McLaughlin, and let me tell you something. There is nothing better than at the end of the day to come home, be able to sit back and relax in your rocking chair on the front porch with two of your best friends. And my best friends today are Max, sit, and Duke, sit. Oh, hi baby. These guys have been with me for several years, and Duke he's a shelter dog. He came from the shelter, and he is part Great Dane and part Lab. Max, I actually found, excuse me, beside the road in the snow, and picked him up, and I think he's part collie or part border collie because when I moved over to the farm, he was able to round up the cows without even knowing and never being around a cow in his life. So to me, that's the best part of living on the farm, are my animals and just the peace and quiet that we get in the evenings. It doesn't sound peaceful right now. Duke, come sit, baby. Maxim, sit. This is the greatest thing. Today we've got a lot of things that we want to share with you. One of those things, we're going to share a special dessert that I love, and I've actually been craving this for a while. Carrot cake. And normally people will make carrot cake with a cream cheese frosting, and today I'm going to do it with a buttercream frosting just because I want to and I can. So it's my favorite. That's what I want to do. So that's what I'm going to do today. Also, we're going to do a homemade pasta, and yes, I have a pasta maker, and yes, I can do it that way, but not all of us have that. And we're going to do it a simple way. We're going to do it by hand. We're just going to cut it out with a pizza cutter. It's really simple that anyone can do at home. You don't need the machinery to do all of that. If you want to throw something together, we're going to do a shrimp pasta with, imagine this, an heirloom tomato cream sauce to go on top of that. So join us for that today, and don't forget, we have been in the greenhouse today, or getting that ready for plants to go in the ground. We have been transplanting our plants. Last time we were together, you saw the plants coming up in the little sheet trays, the little cells that we plant the seeds in, and now we are starting to transport those to their 3-inch pots that they go in, and each variety of tomatoes has their own room, and we'll show you that too. So we are transplanting our tomatoes into the pots, and depending on, I guess what the plants feel like. Sometimes this takes 3 or 4 days. Sometimes it could take up to a week or 2 weeks for the plants to grow enough to transplant them into the ground. But we are preparing our greenhouses in the meantime, getting ready for that. But as the plants have been transplanted into their little cells or into their little pots, they will continue to grow as well. Got all of this going on today, so you won't want to miss anything with this series. So Max, Duke, tell everybody goodbye. You want to wave? Tell them we'll see you later. Stay tuned. We got so much going on today.
Today we're going to do a repeat of Pavlov's experiment with dogs. Doesn't take much for Duke to get into it. See, he's already ready. But I have here half of a dog bone or biscuit, and we're going to watch him salivate. Okay, first of all, Duke, shake hands. No, shake hands. Shake. Good boy. And down. There's your treat. I know, you're ready too. Come over here. This is Max. Now Max, how do you, oh, down boy, down. Okay, now, down. Good boy. Here's your treat. 2 of the finest tomato raising dogs you'll find in the county.
We're back at the pack house today, and you can see some of our German Johnsons. We've already started transplanting. These are some that are left and are growing. You can see we've got some pretty good size tomatoes ready to be transplanted into their 3-inch pots. These are some of the purple Cherokees, which are a pretty big hit around here. A lot of people love purple Cherokees, and that actually happens to be my favorite, as well as Dawn's. We love purple Cherokee. It's just the rich, sweet flavor in those tomatoes. I told you we've started transplanting into the 3-inch pots. This is our German Johnson room. This room will be filled with German Johnsons. We'll have about 900 to 950 in this room before we're finished. These are the largest ones we have now. They should take off. Once they're in these pots, they really start growing fast. So we're looking forward to that and looking forward to putting them out in the greenhouse soon too. Okay, the first thing we're going to do when we're making our pasta, we're going to mix together our wet ingredients. So let's start with an egg and a mixer. To that, let's add the water. And then let's go ahead and put our salt in. And we're going to mix this up for probably about 2 minutes. Okay, now it's stirred up pretty good. Let's start adding our flour just a little at a time. And we're going to continue to add the flour. You can hear the mixer having a hard time with this dough, but it's getting to be just the right consistency. This is just for Dawn and me for our dinner tonight, so this recipe is for 2 people. You multiply it as much as you would like, and it's plenty for 2 people as well. But so multiply the recipe for whatever suits your need for however many people that you have. So we're going to beat this about 2 minutes, and it kind of kneads it together. So I think our dough has been kneaded enough in this bowl. What you want is, you know it's ready when you come out. Pull it straight out in a little ball, and it actually, there's nothing left in the bowl. I'm going to show you. It should actually be pretty clean. So you'll know that your dough is ready to pull out by then. Just place it in a bowl, cover it. We're going to let this sit for about 20 minutes. We have our water on the stove getting ready to boil. We just put that on. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to that just to help it along, so the pasta will not stick together. Yeah, it's time to roll out our pasta. Can't wait for you to do this. I think you're going to have fun with it. It's been kneaded. Start pushing it out. It's really pretty tough. Just remember that. What we want to do when we're rolling out our pasta, roll it just as thin as you possibly can, because you don't want thick, chewy pasta. Now we have our pasta dough rolled out. Very thin, and I'm going to tell you that thin really is the key word here, that you want to get this rolled out just as thin as you possibly can. Doing this the easy way, we're just going to take a pizza cutter. You can make these noodles just as wide or as narrow as you would like. It's kind of fun to have them random because that's what I'm best at. Here we have our homemade pasta. Isn't there something about those words, homemade pasta? For kids, you can get cookie cutters and roll this out really thin and cut out, whether it's teddy bears, whether it's, maybe it's seasonal and it's a Christmas thing or a Halloween thing. You can cut out pasta for kids. That is so cool to be able to do that. We're going to put this into the water, add a little bit of salt, and while our pasta is coming to a boil, we're going to start on our tomato sauce. While our pasta is boiling and cooking, just want to keep that nice and fluffy. We are going to start sauteing, getting ready for our tomato cream sauce. So we're going to melt our butter and add the onions. Going to sweat those down first. Take just a couple of minutes. Our onions are sweating down. It's time to add our garlic. Even though our tomato sauce is a white wine tomato sauce, even though it has onions and garlic in it, there's just something about shrimp and onions and garlic that go together. I feel like it's a must-have. The pasta is boiling, almost finished. Now, let's go ahead and put our shrimp on. The water's boiling for the shrimp. I'm going to put that on, steam that for about 5 minutes. As the garlic and onions are cooking down, we're going to turn off. Pasta is done. I'm getting ready to drain that. In the meantime, notice we are using Highlands Farms white wine tomato sauce. So we're going to pour that. Let that simmer up real good. The shrimp is cooking. Sauce is getting ready. Now I'm going to drain the noodles. We're almost there. Shrimp appear to be done. We don't want to cook them entirely the whole way, so beautiful, colosso, jumbo shrimp. Beautiful, beautiful. We're going to rinse those in cold water, cut off the steaming real quick, and then peel them, throw them into our sauce, and then throw in our noodles. Sauce has cooked up beautifully, and I wish you could smell this. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. We're going to put our noodles in our sauce, stir that in. Ooh, that's so beautiful. You can cut these shrimp if you'd like. I prefer not to. I like them to be in their whole. How about that? So you just want to cook that on medium for about 2 minutes, just enough to marry everything together. What I call a perfect simple evening with my wonderful husband after a long hard week. We deserve it, even though it was simple. Maybe we shouldn't tell him. We have a beautiful shrimp homemade pasta. We're serving that with, we just put some sourdough bread on the side just to kind of keep it all together. But we're looking forward to this nice little evening together and a wonderful meal. We hope you'll enjoy too.
And don't forget there's wine.
That's my husband from Appalachian Living on the Farm. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for joining us in Tracy's Kitchen.
Voice Magazine for Women and Modern Day Appalachia Woman. Magazines with a regional footprint. We are expanding and we are hiring. We are looking for energetic people who want to have a career in presenting a well-branded and respected product. Become a member of our team and a member of a growing successful company. Email your resume or video today.
Hi, welcome to Tracy's Kitchen. Today we're making one of my favorites, and I hope it's one of yours as well, carrot cake. And we're keeping this very, very simple. One of the things we're going to change up, normally what you would see in a carrot cake is a cream cheese frosting. Well, this is Tracy's Kitchen, so Tracy can do whatever she wants. So we're going to do a buttercream frosting just because that is my favorite. I love buttercream frosting. And actually, no one's turned their nose up yet. So anyway, starting off, what we're going to do, we've got our eggs. We're going to put our eggs in. We're going to beat those. After that, let's get those, I'm going to beat them and get them a little fluffy anyway, just to get them started before we add other things into it. So let's get those rolling. After that, I'm going to put in some oil and some buttermilk. So let's get our oil. Buttermilk. Buttermilk is, you know, you use it in so many cakes and you really wouldn't think about it. You know, we love our buttermilk biscuits. I do. I think a lot of people do. Red velvet cake, that's a key ingredient in a red velvet cake, is buttermilk. So it's also a key ingredient in our carrot cake. Let's continue with the liquids. Let's add our vanilla extract. Now we'll start on the dry ingredients. First of all, we're going to add our cinnamon, our sugar, and we're going to add this just slowly. Turn this mixer up just a little, since we're not all liquid at this point. We're starting to add some dry. Now what I'm going to do is start adding my flour. I'll turn my speed down so the flour won't go flying everywhere. Also, let's put in some of our carrots while we're doing that. That keeps our batter moist. It doesn't get so dry with all of the flour going in. Okay, you can do this as a sheet cake, a 9x13. I chose to do a 9-inch layer cake just because, you know, growing up, when I was making cakes or even as a young adult, my dad would always say, make sure you put a lot of icing in the middle of that and between the layers. And I'll always remember that, and you know what, to this day I still do that, just thinking of him. That's what he liked. And it does, with a carrot cake, remember this too, the longer that it sits, it just gets a little more moist each day. And a lot of that will come from the frosting, which is why I like to use buttercream frosting. Okay, last but not least, we're going to add our pecans. You can substitute, I like pecans a little bit better than walnuts. You can substitute walnuts for your pecans or pecans, depending on where you're from. So we're going to stir this up. And one of the great things, you know, I love memories and I love thinking back of my grandmother in the kitchen, both of my grandmothers, my mother in the kitchen. That's some of my favorite memories. One of the things I love is that I still have my mother's cake pans and I use these. I love them. And I always think of her making all of those cakes. I always think of her when I use these. So you can see we have greased and put the wax paper in our pans. So now we've got this mix. One last. We're going to spoon the batter into the pans. We're going to put those in the oven and we're going to bake them at 350 for an hour. Okay, or until a toothpick, of course, comes out clean. So let's get the batter in the pans and get them in the oven. When I say that it should be creamy, can you tell how that, I mean, it is so creamy. Just the consistency and very light and airy, actually. Frosting is ready. This is my favorite part. I love buttercream frosting, and hopefully after you try it on your carrot cake, this will be your favorite too. Nothing wrong with cream cheese frosting, but this is my favorite thing. And don't forget to make the thick middle layer in memory of my dad. Okay, let's get this cake iced and tear into it. Carrot cake with buttercream frosting. One of my favorite things in the world. Let's see what it looks like. Just a small sliver. Small little slice. Kinda. Let's see how delicious this looks. It's incredible. Have to try this. This is so good and so rich, and like I said, with the moisture of the carrots, it will become more moist every day. Also, with this buttercream frosting, it also, as it sits from day to day, will become a little more moist because the butter will absorb into the cake. Nothing any better than this. Delicious.